Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. Today we're going to be talking about the Brompton suspension block.
He's the Brompton Guy!
The reason we're talking about the suspension block today is because the bike recently was on a 100k sportive and there was an obvious noise coming from the bike. Oh, I don't know what that squeak is. Is it something from... While trying to isolate it on the roads, I am pretty confident I've isolated it down to the rubber suspension block that is currently on the bike. At this point in time, it is just the standard suspension block that came with the Brompton, and this Brompton is from 2004, so it has a lot of wear on it, so by common denominator, it would appear to be the suspension block. Now, I could probably live with a noise, it does irritate me, but I took this opportunity to do a little bit of research, and this actually should resolve one of the biggest issues I have with the Brompton. The reason I'm interested in changing this suspension block is because I personally felt when I was using it to grind up hills, I was losing a lot of energy just purely by the disposition of the power from the rubber itself. So I've done a little bit of digging online and I found this solution. So here we have the product that will be being fitted. It's the Kuosac and it's the firm suspension block. Looks like anything else, but it is supposed to be significantly firmer than even Brompton's firm block. I think there's going to be a lot of factors obviously to decide what suspension block is best for yourself and your style of riding. Again, today I have picked this specific one because I'm looking for something that actually is probably going to make the bike a little bit more uncomfortable, but more responsive and less power loss through the bike. Majority of people might not need that, but I would strongly recommend you have a little look at the reviews and what the suspension block is made for. So I think now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the simple fitting. It's not a complicated job and only requires the most minimal of tools. So let's get dug in and see what that looks like. Replacing the suspension block is really not too difficult a task on the Brompton. With this repair, all we have to do is loosen the 10mm nut from the bolt itself. In order to remove the 10mm bolt, there's a couple of ways to do it. For this, I'm simply going to use a 10mm spanner. And what I like to do is loosen it by hand a little bit until it's free turning, which I've already partially done. And then drop the rear. So we're going down there. And then with the Allen key on the back and the wheel in the correct position, we can simply turn it by hand, like so. And voila! Catching all the components as they come off. So for this, I'm just going to show you the order the components come off. We have the 10mm nut, followed by a plastic 10mm washer. We then have a plastic protective, which is the first thing that goes on the rear side of the triangle. After that, we have another rubber washer that has a groove to fit inside. And then we simply pull the old one off. Now here we have the new one. Can have a little look at the differences there. They are going to look different, obviously different in shape, but still same principle. The one where you know how they fit is the tops obviously have massive holes here, whereas the bottom parts will always have the little recess at the bottom there. In order to fit the new one, super simple. You've got your top piece, which boom, we lock in like so, and then we just fit it in reverse order. So we go white, then we go protective, and then from here we simply put it back through, hold it up, and then always just go finger tight at first there. Like so. Obviously one thing to note on here is that actually is a cut out groove. That groove is what latches onto your hook up here. So just make sure that you orientate that correctly, but you should be able to turn it because it does actually unlatch it from that way. And then we simply tighten it back up. So I'm going to use the same trick at first. Just going to do it manually, turning it rather than me doing the work. Get it to a good level of hand tight. There we go. So once hand tight, we just simply need to lock this back up into the frame, like so. Once you are happy with the fitting of the block and the alignment of it, just make sure it releases itself nice and easy. So it shouldn't have any friction, should go in nice and easy for the catch, like so. Once you've done that, go give it a test ride. Right, here it is, the suspension test. And I've got to say already, oh my God, it's stiff. I'm proper bouncing on the bike here. And more importantly, the squeak is gone. So we 100% confirm that the squeak was coming from the old used up rubber. I honestly cannot believe the difference this bike feels. There's no power loss at all. It's incredible, what a transformation. Something that takes realistically about 5 minutes just actually makes you feel that you've got a completely different bike. Now for the big test, I'm going to climb this hill, which will throw maximum power at it, and then we'll see how much movement we have. So here we go. Carpet on out, here we go, full power, full power, full power. Oh, what a difference. The response you get climbing now. What a difference. Absolutely phenomenal. So what we can conclude, to upgrade your rear suspension block, and for me this is an upgrade because I personally wanted it stiffer, so I lost less power while climbing. This is a no-brainer. £20 for the part, 5-minute fitting. You've got a different bike. Won't be for everyone, but if you are probably a heavier rider, you're going to want to consider the firm. You're going to feel the road a little bit more, but I feel the pressure on the standing one. I mean, I weigh 79 kilograms, and I could see it squeaking pretty darn hard, so this is a no-brainer. This is obviously my first ride of it. If my opinion changes or something else develops, I'll let you know, but it's a simple one. If you want firm suspension, you want to make the bike stiffer, go for it. Best £20 you can ever spend. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. If you learned something new, I've got some more amazing dedicated Brompton content up here. And if you liked what you've seen and you want to help support the channel, you can scan the QR code down here. This will take you to my Buy Me a Cuppa page. This page has been set up to let you, the audience, help donate money to me so that I can continue to do some amazing projects. At the moment, I'm working incredibly hard to raise the funds for a Brompton T line because some of the upcoming projects I want to do in the pipeline require this specific bike. Don't want to give too many reasons why yet, but any help you can give will go such a long way, and thank you if you can donate just a little to the channel. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until the next one, goodbye.